Okay, I've got my channel on here on another device. If this thing's supposed to be live, I'm not getting it. Okay, no, I'm still not getting it. Okay, it says live on this thing. Let me try that again. Channel, live. Oh, there we go. Yeah, after that 2-hour fiasco yesterday, I didn't want to repeat it so soon, right? Oh boy. Yeah, I'm still burning about that. But it's given me a couple of more videos, actually. Nice, alright. Okay, let's see what we're going here. Yeah, there's, let me turn down the thing again. Yeah. Well, the music that the old school plays isn't really heard when on the stream, so I'm always working under the impression that this thing has sound, audio to it, which it does not. Okay. All right. There is so much I want to cover today. I know I'm going to miss a bunch of stuff, but there's just too much information. I try to organize it as best as possible, but really there is just too much to go over. Okay, let's see. I wanted to start with containers, but since I'm at the exchange, I also want to find out about chef's hat, chef hats, and what else? The exchange rate for gloves. Okay. Yeah, this is like affecting everything. Well, every time you learn a significant amount of information, it's going to change a lot of stuff. Just the way you structure your stuff, you know. All right, so I need price information. Oh, actually, that is a good place to start. You know, in one of my videos, you see me going around when I talk about the Grand Exchange. You see me going around to different people, just standing around the exchange, and they throw in a lot of additional information that someone that hasn't used the exchange shouldn't even bother with. Yeah, but really, once you've used the exchange a few times, you can go ahead and start talking to these other characters. If nothing else, it gives you a good idea about what you might want to start collecting. Okay, I think this is the guy who just gives prices, overall prices about everything. What has he been wanting? I can tell you all about the prices of this is runes. Okay, that's his specialty. Yeah, surprisingly enough, there are only a couple of runes that I found, that I come across, that are worth keeping. Nature runes and chaos runes. I think nature runes is 70 something and chaos runes is like 90 or 91 or something. Everything else seems to be like 5 coins or something like that. So, yeah, anyway. Grand Exchange, how can I? Okay, this is the guy who deals with prices in general. So, what is this place? Can you tell the price of an item? Okay, so offhand, okay, what did I say? Chef's hat, right? Okay, yeah, you'll figure out why this, because, yeah, oh heck. Yeah, you have to deal with this little icon thing, the Twitch thing, and try to get around it. Chef's hat. Oh, wow. That is significant, huh? Okay. Let me see. Chef's hat. What is that? 493. I mean, once you start really getting into RuneScape, that's nothing, but starting out, I can see why that would be a significant thing to deal with. But if you don't qualify yet, it doesn't matter anyway, so let's leave it at that. Leather gloves. All right. 10 coins. See, I knew it. Okay, so leather gloves is so cheap, even when purchased on the exchange, that it's really not worth going out of your way for. Okay, so it's 10 coins for that. Okay, let's see. Designer jewelry? No. Potion prices. So if you want potion prices, there they are. Empty vial, 3 coins. Vial of water, 4 coins. Actually, that's a good place to start. Because the first thing I wanted to talk about, containers. Vials, you can't use the water contained in a vial. All right? The only thing a vial of water is good for is to transfer water from one container to another. So if that's all you have on hand, you can go ahead and put water in the vial, and then when you get a hold of a bowl or a jug or a bucket, you can transfer the water from the vial to the other container. Pots do not hold water. As far as I can see, they only hold dry goods like flour. The other container, well, the other thing I've come across is empty beer glass. An empty beer glass can't hold anything. As I haven't come across anything it can hold. So, but we'll get into that in a minute. Hold on. Would you like to show me the price of logs? These are interesting things to know. Just so you know, you see regular logs? Regular logs are 49 coins. Which means you don't have to waste your time really hunting down other kind of logs, with the exception of U logs. 277 coins. That you may want to make note of. And as a matter of fact, that is a good point. Let me go ahead and write that down because, yeah, in the next video, yeah, I'm doing a remake of Below Ice Mountain because that really burned the heck out of me. I prepared too much just to let it go at that. Technical glitch. Let me write down the U-log thing. I knew I had seen something about that. So you always get so much information. Hold on. U-logs 277. Regular logs Regular logs. What is it? 49 coins. 49 coins. Okay. Now that is a big difference. That's worth knowing. Because, yeah, we come across U-logs in the Below Ice Mountain quest, so that's actually a timely thing to know. So weapons and armor. Okay, this is weapons and armor guy. Seem a bit flustered. Yeah, show me the prices of weapons. Okay. Yeah, I looked at this thing, and since I'm defense level 1, the only armor I can wear at this point in time is made out of iron. Which means I can actually smith a whole suit of armor that I'm not even able to wear because my defense level is 1. So I looked at this green dragon hide set information, or just dragon hide armor, because it comes in different colors. All of them require, oh my gosh, what was it? Like 40 in defense or something like that? I don't know. Big number. I'm never going to get to it. Let me put it to you that way. So I guess I'm sticking with my iron gear. So, yeah. So what else do we have? Okay. This kid, who isn't a kid apparently, very defensive. Okay. Now, since I do a lot of smithing, or did a lot of smithing, just to be able to make my mithril warhammer leveled up in this thing, it's still good to know because you get a lot of leftovers as you do a lot of mining and smithing. So if you're trying to clean up your inventory, or even just have a general knowledge of how much this stuff you can get for this stuff, if you just needed a few coins pretty quickly, believe me, by the time you level up enough, you'll know where to go for which ore, and knowing the prices you can get for them is going to be valuable information to you. Okay, so I deal mostly with iron ore because it's the fastest. Well, let's face it, it's faster to get iron ore than any other kind of ore. So let me put that on this as well. Iron ore. Yeah, I've done this before, but I mean, there's just too much information. You really do need to keep track of it, writing it down somehow, some way. All right. Let me highlight this because, yeah, notes get really involved. Okay. So I know iron ore is the one I can accumulate the most out of. So, yeah. 125, not bad. Coal takes forever to chip away at. Iron ore, if you have a half-decent pickaxe, like anything beyond a bronze, and you can chip away pretty fast. So, yeah. All right. Let's see what else we've got here. Again, don't do this until you've used the exchange a few times, because otherwise it really does get too complicated. Okay, let's go ahead and let me show you. Okay, tell me about the prices. Okay. Now, odds are you've got a lot of air runes, because a lot of creatures drop those. You also come across mine runes because they spawn. Like Lumbridge Castle, you can always get a mine rune at the first level or lower level, whatever you want to call it. That's only 2 coins, so you know that. Okay. Chaos runes. 79 coins. I think he's behind the times. I think it's like 71 or 73 or something like that now. Nature runes is like 91, I think. And those are the 2 that you can come across because different characters will drop those items. All the other stuff you come across are usually like 5 coins. 5 coins, 2 coins, whatever. All right. Yeah. But again, don't do this until you've already used it. And that's the guy who does the prices in general. Yeah. All right. So what do we have here? I wanted information on the chef's hat, and that was pretty up there, 400 something coins. And then we had the leather gloves, which was 10 coins. All right. But what I really wanted to do was get into containers. So let me just go ahead and grab some containers. Okay. Wrong guy. Okay, the people in the purple outfits are the exchange agents. The people in the gray outfits are the bankers. Okay, let me just get through here. Okay, containers. Get a bowl. All right, a jug, bucket, and well, let's get that vial of water. And I'll show you what I mean with the beer. Okay. See what else before I make my way out of here? No, I think that was it for the moment. Like I said, there's so much information. U-logs, Varrock, Lumbridge containers. Okay, should I bring the chef's? Okay, I already have the chef's set with me. All right. Already have a knife. Okay. All right, let me just, okay, yeah. Yeah, I might as well point this out. And get a loaf of bread. And go ahead and use up the steak. Okay, I want to go ahead and show these things just to get them out of the way. Because they're cute and everything, but as far as practical reasons, no, I'm throwing too much information all at once. No, I'm not going to do it like that. Let me just stick with the container. All right, getting out of the exchange. You got to go south. All right? You see how if you ever do this on your laptop, you will already have learned that you have to use your compass and mini-map a lot. Because you can't zoom in and out like you can on your mobile, on your phone. Okay, so look at the compass at the upper right-hand corner. You see you've got your mini-map that takes up most of the space. Top left area of the mini map, you'll see the compass. All right. Now go ahead and turn it until the south is at the top, because that's the direction you want to go in when you're leaving the exchange. Okay, so it's a south exit, which is another thing I forgot to point out when I was talking about the exchange. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing, actually, we'll go ahead and look at that. Look at the mini map again. You see the blue drops? Those indicate water sources. Okay, where am I? Okay, it looks like I'm that. Actually, hold on. Maybe I don't even have to go that far. Oh, that's on the other side of the thing. Yes, I do. You see, that's the other side of the wall. And this other water source. Okay. You know what? I am making this too confusing. Okay, you're using your mini map. You can see that the all those blue drops signify water sources. I'm going to see if I can list them here. Water sources. Okay, I could have, oh, there we go. Water source. So water source is listed under training. You get your training thing. The first one is agility training. That's members only. Anvil, birdhouse site. I think that's members only as well. Okay, keep on going. Fishing spot. Anyway, water source. See all that? That means you should be able to go to all those places if you want to fill your containers up with water. And I also need to point out how sinks work, because that's not so obvious either. Okay, according to this, there should be a water source right at the entrance of the, that's weird. That's the grand thing. It's either that corner or just outside of that corner. Okay, but let's not get too, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. So if you've ever been to Varrock, if I can get this thing closed, the most obvious water source is going to be the fountain at the city center, the city square. Okay, so here we are. Okay. Now the sinks that you may have come across work the same way as the water fountains. If you just tap on it like that, nothing happens. Okay? You can tap and tap and tap, nothing happens. Same thing if you tap a sink, nothing will happen. In order to actually get water out of a water source, you first have to tap or press down on a container. Alright, let me also say this. Be very careful about getting in the habit of tapping things, because if you're tapping a food item, by default, you'll end up eating it. So I've gone through too many chocolate bars that way. Just getting in the habit of trying to use it. Instead of using it, I end up eating it. So if it's not a food item, by default, you'll just be using it. But if it is a food item, you'll end up eating it. So you may just want to get used to pressing down. And selecting use bowl. But that's a personal decision. Okay, you tap or press down on an item to use it. Once you do that, you tap on a water source. Now look at the bowl. Now the bowl contains water. Okay, now the beer, drink beer, use beer, drop beer. Okay, use beer. Okay, let me see what happens when I do that. Nothing. Okay, now you drink beer, you end up with an empty beer glass. Hit use beer glass, and then hit the water source. Nothing happens. Oh, here's another random event. I've already made a stream about random events. Yeah, these people come to arrest me. They come to give me pop quizzes. They come to draft me into the military, all kinds of stuff. To get rid of these characters, press down on them, and then dismiss whoever it is. Okay, so there's another random event you can dismiss. Alright, what was I talking about? Okay, containers. As far as I can see, there's no way to fill up a beer glass. It just won't do it. And like I said, vials, the only use I've found so far is the fact that you can transfer it from one container to another. If I tap on that and then tap on the empty bucket, now the bucket has water and the vial is empty. I can tap on that and tap that again, and okay. So a vial can be used to transfer water, but that's it. You can't actually use the water in a vial. You have to transfer it to another container. And again, the three contain. Oh, I forgot to get a pot. Oh, that's okay. Okay, that's all right. I'll show you the only place that I've come across so far. I guess I should have looked that up. That spawns pots. And I think I did this. All right, where am I going? South. I think I showed this yesterday. need to get a pot. This is the Blue Moon Inn. Now I'll get more into that when I do my other stream about the about that quest. Go into the kitchen, back here. And there's the pot. So let's take that. Okay. Oh, there's the back door. Okay. All right. Another good thing about since we're already here, the stove. Oh, darn. It burnt my steak. Well, that really stinks. Okay. Yeah, it usually asks what you want to cook. If you have some... Darn, I wasn't expecting it to do that. All right. I'll go ahead and get rid of it. Okay, might as well go ahead and replace it. I was going to do that anyway. No, let me focus in on what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so we've got the containers and the water source. Pot only dried goods, maybe, I don't know. Bile can be used to transfer. Beer glass won't hold anything as far as I can tell. Bowl, jug, and bucket. Okay. Oh, I didn't take a jug either. Alright, I gotta pick up a jug. And I gotta replace my burnt meat. Okay. Let me look what else I'm forgetting. There's just so much. Okay. Now I do want to make it plain that the only reason I'm going into such detail about this, well, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me get out of here. There is a reason why I'm really got into just working it out. Too much, you might say. Okay. Now I did mention the fact that most of this is going to be dealing with Varrock. Now the reason for that is eventually you will outgrow, Lumbridge. Okay, because you just won't have to go back as often. You'll end up leveling up and you'll be able to access other things that are more use to you. Okay, this is see this windmill thing? This is the Cook's Guild. Alright. Now, they're more or less self-contained. Let me go over here. You open this. Okay, you can go here and pick some wheat. Okay, I'll just go ahead and do that. Yeah, I know that it's a lot of information, but if nothing If for no other reason, just so you know the kind of things you'll eventually pick up. Especially if you do some of the quests. You don't have to do all of them, but I mean some of them. Oh, yeah. Now my cooking level is high enough to get in here. Oh, what level is that? Hold on. Let me double check. Okay, Cook's Guild. Yeah, I'm accessing the old school runes, RuneScape wiki website. I'll put a link to that in the description, just in case anyone's out there that doesn't use this thing. Okay, Cook's Guild, yeah. Okay, to enter the guild, players need at least 32 cooking and must wear one of the following: a chef's hat or golden chef's hat, cooking cape or cooking hood, max cap or max hood, Varrock armor 3 or 4. Reward from completing the hard or elite Varrock diary. Okay, I don't know what any of that other stuff is, but I do know what a chef's hat is. And I acquired that quite a minute ago back in Lumbridge when I was still attacking goblins. Well, it's what they encourage you to do, right? Just to get into the swing of things. Okay, so I just need to tap on the chef's hat and it switches it out. Now I can come in without being challenged. Okay, let's look around here. Let me go ahead and pick up the chocolate before I forget. All right, now look at the inventory. You have another bar of chocolate. Okay, let me grab this. These cooking apples, they go for, I don't know. Hold on, I wrote it down. Okay, cooking apples. Cooking apples go for 97 coins on the Grand Exchange. Okay, but I don't want to take up all my inventory space. Okay, what is that, a bowl? It's a pie dish, or a cake tin. The pie dish is there. Okay, yeah, I was pretty sure there was a pot in here somewhere. Top floor of the Cooking Guild. They've got pots that you can also take. So, to get a pot, you can either go to the Blue Moon's Inn in the kitchen, or if you have 32, if you're a level 32 in cooking and you get a hold of a chef's hat, you can get in here. All right, so let me see, what else am I doing now? Okay, to use this thing again, I've got wheat in my inventory. I just have to tap on this hoop thing right there, or a hopper, sorry. And look at the inventory. One of the bundles of wheat is missing. After I tap the hopper, I have to tap the levers over here. Then I can tap the hopper again. And look at the inventory. Another bundle of wheat is missing. Hit the lever again and tap it. And that took the last bundle of wheat. Hit the lever again. Okay, so it should all be ground up now. But I only have 2 pots in my inventory. Look at the table. It takes a couple of minutes, but it will respawn. It will spawn another pot. So you take that. Now I've got 3 pots. That's all I need because that's all the wheat I took. Go back downstairs. Oh, wait a minute. I just saw the jug. Hold on. Let me take a jug. Okay, so now I've got a bowl, a jug, a bucket, an empty glass beer glass, sorry, and 3 pots. With the exception of a cake tin and a pie dish. Those are all, well, those can't really be considered containers anyway. So, yeah. Okay, so I have all the containers I'm aware of that old school RuneScape uses. All right, a bowl, a jug, and a bucket. That's for liquid contents. Pots, I think that's only for flour. Okay, so go back downstairs. And there's all the flour. Now look at the pots. All the pots are empty. I tap the flour once, flour bin, excuse me, and now look at the pots. One of them's full. I tap it again, and 2 of them are full. One more time. Okay, so all the pots are full. Now this is the reason why I wanted to be so specific with the information. This may or may not work. Okay, I'm going to hit the water, and then I'm going to hit one of the pots of flour. Okay, there we go. This time it worked. I did that earlier. It worked a couple of times, and then it stopped working. Okay. But you tap the water, you tap the pot of flour, and that happens. They ask you, what kind of dough do you wish to make? Press down on the first one, make bread dough. Press down on the second one. Oh, heck. It didn't make it, did it? Okay. Make pastry dough. Press down on the third one. Make pizza base. All right. So the one I'm interested in is the first one, the bread dough. Okay. So you can go ahead and select that. Now look at your inventory. There's your bread dough. All right. So I'm going to transfer the water from the vial into the bucket. Or I could use the jug, but it doesn't matter anyway. Okay, now the vial is empty and the bucket is full of water. So I'm going to tap the flour in the water again. Okay. Now I know which one I want. It's number 1. So I'm just going to tap that. Now look at the inventory. I've got more bread dough. All right, now let's look at this sink. Again, if you go to a sink, which is a water source and will show up on the map as a water source, as one of those blue drops. Now I could stand here all day and tap on this thing till the cows come home. Nothing will happen. I have to hit one of the containers. Again, you may not want to get in the habit of doing that, just in case you want to use a food item and not eat it. But again, that's a personal decision. You can press down and then select use, either way. And then you hit the sink again. All right, it's being annoying. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. Now you've got a jug of water. Tap on that and tap on the remaining pot of flour. Now it doesn't matter which you tap first. It could be the pot of flour, it could be the water, whatever. Okay. As it so happens, it worked every time. Earlier today, it worked a couple of times and then it stopped working. I could not make that thing work for anything. It didn't matter what kind of container I was using. It didn't matter which order I tapped on the item, whether it was the pot of flour and then the water or the other way around. That thing just stopped working. It is a very glitchy system. It may or may not work fine. Who knows? But because it is so glitchy, I tried so many combinations. This is all the information I was able to gather, just trying to work through the system. So yeah, that's why I'm being really specific. Otherwise, I just would have said, you tap any kind of container that has water, and then you tap the flour or the other way around, and you'll get your dough. Yeah. And that'd be nice if it worked all the time, but it doesn't, so that's why I'm killing you, overdoing it with so much information. Yeah, it's not you, it's the glitchy system we're dealing with. So, all right, so that takes care of the containers and the water source. Again, you can use a fountain, you can use a sink. There's just a bunch of different kinds of water sources. All right, but first you have to tap or select use for one of these containers, either a bucket, a jug, or a bowl, before you tap the water source. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. All right, and again, the empty beer glass, you can't fill that with anything. And the only thing an empty vial is good for is to transfer water from one container to another. I haven't found any other use for it. Okay, so that covers the containers and the water sources. What else did I want to talk about? Okay, yeah. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'll get another. Like I said, these things just spawn. Okay, I'm full. Huh. Okay, there. I just ate a salmon. I'm going to take another bar. All right. I can get more money for the salmon than I can a bar of chocolate, but that's a better, the salmon is a better way to restore your hit points. Wait a minute. You know what? I don't know how many hit points are restored with, oh, that's a good question. Wait a minute. Let me go and find that out. Let me see what kind of hit points are restored. with this. I've got enough salmon on me, so it's a non-issue. And it's on the way. Because the next thing I want to show you is just collecting supplies, how to get a hammer. I came across this, I meant to mention it with the previous quest tidbits, but I forgot about it. But hold on, since this is on the way, let me go ahead and take care of this. Oh, all right. Let me get out in the open here. All right. So I got 26. Oh, there's my dog. All right. Okay, I got 23. Always pay attention to your hit points. 22. I usually wait until I get under 10 before I eat something. Okay. Hold on, let me say hi to mine. Okay. Hi to my friend here. Okay, so I've got 12 hit points. And be careful with the chocolate. The chocolate is something you might want to use and not eat. So just get in the habit of pressing down on chocolate. This time I am trying to eat the chocolate bar. Okay, I've got 12 hit points. Now I got 15. That only restores 3. That's a crummy. Okay, you see, that's no good for that. All right. So that only restores 3 hit points. So the only thing chocolate is actually good for, where's the chocolate? All right, 3 hit points. Okay, if you go to the Grand Exchange and try to sell your chocolate, they'll only give you 24 coins for it. But if you do this, hold on. Again, this is where I end up eating the chocolate when I don't mean to. When I tap on this, instead of just using it, like if you tap on a non-food item, look at the knife. You see how it's selected without being consumed? I'll do that again. If you do that to a food item, you'll end up eating it. Now, since I've already hit the knife, it won't do that, but it's dangerous getting in the habit of tapping chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and tap it now, though, since I did the knife first. Okay. Oh, and that's another thing. Yeah, it does end up converting all your chocolate into chocolate dust. Huh, okay. I wonder if I had selected the use just one of them. No, I think it still would have done all whatever chocolate I contained. All right. Now, chocolate dust, if you go to the exchange and sell it, you'll get 43 coins for that instead of the 24 for just the chocolate. So just for tapping that knife, you'll get about 20 more coins out of it. So that's a good thing to know. Okay. Again, it only restores 3 hit points, so yeah, that's pretty useless. Oh, the bones one. Okay. I didn't have space to collect them anyway. Okay. Let me bid my little pet farewell. Okay, so this is West Varrock Bank. This is the closest bank to the Grand Exchange. Now, right across from it, I usually use this door because I'm usually going back and forth between the bank and the master smithing shop, or the smithing shop. This guy, if you don't have a hammer on hand, he'll give you one. Look at my inventory. I've got a lot of stuff, but I don't have a hammer. So I'm going to go and talk to this guy. Oh, let me take off my hat, whatever. All right. Okay, well met. Are you interested in hearing about the art of smithing? Again, look at the title, Master Smithing Tutor. There's another smithing tutor. We'll get to that near the end of the stream. How can I train my smithing? What kind of things can I smith? All that kind of stuff. We'll go with the first one. How can I train my smithing? To be able to smith anything, you're going to need one of these beauties. The Master Smithing Tutor gives you a hammer. Okay, look at your inventory. Look at the inventory. Underneath the jug, I now have a hammer. All right, so if you need to get a hold of a hammer, just start talking to this tutor, and you'll get your hammer. Oh, that was the wrong direction. Hold on. How do I... Okay. So that's how you get a hammer. What else did I want to mention? Oh, the knife. Okay, I'm trying to just point out these very useful items that you end up needing that you can find just knowing where to go in Varrock. The containers, not so much. You probably, if you really have to stock up on containers, you may have to go back to Lumbridge, but I'll get back to that later. Okay, so that's again, that's right across from the West Varrock Bank. Okay, let me go ahead and put away the dough. And the pots. Oh, maybe I should keep... Oh. Put away the hammer. Then the chocolate dust. The empty beer glass. The vial. Okay, I'll keep the other containers because, yeah, lots of information and I'm not going to assume anything at this point. I will take a couple of coins just in case I come across something that I've forgotten about. That should be more than enough. All right. Okay, the knife. If you are in Varrock and you need a knife, go back to the center, the city center, the square. Okay, and turn right after you get to the fountain. And this should be the general store. Okay. Now this is the general store, and yeah. So really, you should be able to, by the time you get to Varrock, you should be able to at least have a handful of coins you can use. Because this stuff, if you go to the general store, is pretty cheap. All right, let me... Okay, now I got 50 coins in my inventory. One pot, that's 1 coin. One jug, that's another coin. One bucket, okay, what do I got? I got 48, right? Oh, a bucket costs 2 coins. Big spender now. All right. Actually, I think the bowl is the most expensive one. But the bucket costs 2. I think this is probably like 5 or something like that. I don't know. I've got 46 coins. Okay, one bowl. Yeah. Again, so the bowl is the most expensive container, and that only costs 5 coins. Which is a lot cheaper than if you go to the Grand Exchange, because the Grand Exchange, I checked earlier, 16 coins for the same bowl. Okay? Another thing you should note, if you try to sell any of the containers you've collected in a general store, they'll take the container, but they won't pay you. The only payment I've ever gotten from trying to sell a container in a general store is for a bowl. And I've got 2 coins for it. Okay? So they'll sell it for 5 coins and they'll buy it for 2 coins. All the other containers, they'll take it, but you won't get any money for it. Which, since they only charge 1 coin and they have to make a profit, you can see how that happens. But yeah, the bowl is the only thing they'll pay you, they'll give you anything for. And that you only get 2. Well, let me show you. Okay, what do I got? I got 41. So after I do this, I should have 43. So let me press down on the thing. Sell 1 bowl. Oh, this guy only gives me 1 coin. Huh. Well, the general store in Lumbridge gave me 2 coins for it. But anyway, getting 1 coin or 2 coins, it's not worth lugging anything around and going around just for 1 or 2 coins. But this is just to show these containers are really cheap and there's no point in going out of your way. So there's no point in going all the way back to Lumbridge to try to find containers without paying anything. Because if you go to Lumbridge Castle, yeah, Lumbridge Castle, if you go to like the kitchen and the cellar by using the ladder in the kitchen, yeah, you can collect all these containers for free. But why are you going to waste your time going all the way back to Lumbridge when you can just go to the general store and pay 1 or 2 coins for it? At most, 5 coins for a bowl. It's not worth it. It really isn't. But, yeah, that's... Anyway, the knife. Oh, wait a minute. This guy doesn't even sell a knife. Which actually he doesn't have to. See, the Lumbridge, general store in Lumbridge will sell you a knife. I think it's 7 coins. Actually, go upstairs. Yeah, I did a little research before streaming this. This one I didn't know about. This is why I'm here in the general store of Varrock. All right, let me go upstairs. Now, if you didn't know this thing was there, it's so small that you really can't see it. Same thing with the kitchen. Okay, look at the bedroom. You see that thing next to the table? Probably not, right? But that's okay. I'm going to go open this door. Okay, on the floor is a knife. It is so small you probably can't see it. Okay, now if you zoom in, you can. All right. So look at your inventory. Now I already had one knife that I used to make the chocolate dust. Now I've got two. All right. So if you want a knife and you really don't want to pay anything for it, but you don't feel like going all the way to Lumbridge, you don't have to. Just go to the city center and turn right. It's going to be the store right there. Okay, another store I wanted to point out, because this is another thing that is so cheap. Right across from the general store is the clothing store. Okay, first time coming through here before I found the boots in Lumbridge Castle. By the way, there are two pairs of boots you can get in Lumbridge Castle. All right, in the cellar. One of them's next to the ladder when you first go down, and the other one is next to the picture. But whatever, I'll get to that later. Let me talk to this person. Okay, clothing store. What have you got? Tell me more about this makeover. I just want to buy some clothes. All right. Okay. So she's got 10 pairs of gloves in stock and 10 pairs of boots. I believe last time I checked, there are 5 coins each. Okay, I've got 42 coins. Let me buy a pair of gloves. Leather gloves. Okay, I got 42. One pair. 36. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 coins. That's inflation for you. Pair of gloves will cost you 6 coins. Let me see. Okay, now in the exchange it was 10. Yeah. Exchange rate. You get 10 coins. You go to the store, clothing store in Varrock, it only costs you 6 coins. Okay, 6 coins in clothing store. Okay. Boots. I've got so many pairs of boots now. Every time I go into Lumbridge Castle, I usually pick up a couple of pair of boots. So now I've got so many. But okay, whatever. Boots. Buy leather boots. What I got? I got 36 coins. I got 30. Okay, so yeah. So it's probably going to cost you the same whatever it is. 6 coins for the gloves, 6 coins for the boots. Now again, I have so many boots, it's not. Okay, so resale value. What I got? 30. Okay, 3 coins. So if I wanted to get rid of all my boots, I can come here and sell them for 3 coins a pair. All right, so whatever. Gloves, I'm keeping the gloves because, yeah, the wiki, the old school RuneScape wiki, it says they're gloves in the cellar, but I have yet to find them. All right. And the other place it mentions, so I did a thing on a little reading up on the leather glove entry. The place that page lists, you're really going out of your way for nothing. I mean, the darn thing only cost 6 coins. What's the big deal? It's not worth going out of your way. And it's not worth actually making, even if you're a do-it-yourselfer. I think you need cowhide, a needle, and thread. But really, we're only talking 6 coins here. I mean, that's a terrible waste of time. So it doesn't even, and you didn't, even if you just don't even want to take the extra steps to get to the clothing store, you can go to the Grand Exchange and get it for 10 coins. So that really, really is a terrible waste of time, just making yourself, but to each his own, okay? Let's see, what else? What else? Okay. Now, you see, after I did the, my cooking habits have up to this point just been focused on cooking on an open fire. Okay, no matter what kind of food item we're talking about, most of the time you can cook it on an open fire. Not bread. With bread, you've got to have access to a stove. This is the other this is the other thing you start finding out about as you start trying to prepare yourself for this below Ice Mountain quest. If you don't want to waste a lot of time running around trying to collect these items as you're going through the quest, and you try to prep a little beforehand, this is all the information you end up coming across, having to acquire, just to be able to get through the quest faster. Okay? I mean, it's a personal choice. You can do this while you're doing the quest, but that's a lot more confusing when you're trying to juggle all the other information you've got to go through, even when you know your way around. So I usually like having all the supplies I can gather beforehand so I don't have to deal with so much. Because they throw a lot of information, too much information at you. Okay, so bread. Because this quest required bread, for the first time, I really had to start learning about using a stove. Even after I qualified in the Cook's Guild and was using one of my chef's hat to get in and all that kind of stuff, I still never used the stove. I didn't need to. Up to this point, all my cooking has been on an open fire. Never had to use a stove. Now with this stove stuff, yeah. Look at this. Look at this map. Okay, you're in Varrock. You see that, okay, that should be under training, right? Since water source was training. Stove. Wait a minute. Cooking range, okay. Yeah, I found it because I'm looking at the thing. You see the image, well, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but to me it looks like a cooking pot. So under the training in your map key, look for cooking range. You see all that? Most of those ranges, cooking ranges, are in private dwellings. So really, to use one of these stoves, you gotta be pretty bold, because you do kind of get a little uncomfortable just walking into what is so obviously a private dwelling. And most of these are humble dwellings too. I guess the rich folks go to restaurants, huh? Whatever. But most of these cooking ranges are on the other side of town for the less privileged that still have to cook their own meals. All right. Yeah, most of them are humble dwellings. Um, and yeah, I don't know how you were raised, but I kind of feel uncomfortable. I definitely prefer just to have a chef's hat on hand and go into the Cook's Guild to use the cooking range on the second floor. There is another range on the first floor, but apparently that's after you've completed some diary thing, which is only accessible if you're a member. And I'm still free to play here. So, yeah. Okay, so like I said, this is the first time I've really had to start paying attention. And most of those are private dwellings. The ones that aren't out of your way, okay, I've already showed you Blue Moon Inn. That's a pub that you find as you're doing this Below Ice Mountain quest. There's a cooking range in there. There's a cooking range, as you've seen, in the Cook's Guild. The other cooking range that you don't really have to go into the depths of private residences. These are also private residences, but you pass by these all the time. Let me show you this again. Okay, you see those? Hold on. Let me get that out of the way. You see those two cooking ranges? Now look at the map. This is the road you're on when you cross over the bridge from the barbarian village. Now the one on the top, that's Juliet's house. Okay? The one on the bottom, apparently that's a members only quest scenario, but you can use it. I used it yesterday when I was doing research for this thing. You can use either one. You can go into Juliet's house and use that one, or you can go into this other, I think the person's name is Gertrude. I don't know the character's name. But yeah, I've already gone to both of these places. Yes, you can go into it. It is obviously also a private residence, but again, you're not going out of your way. Okay, you're not like entering into deep into private neighborhoods like you are with these other cooking ranges. So yeah, if you haven't qualified, if your cooking level isn't high enough to use the Cook's Guild, then yeah, stick with Juliet's house and this other person's house. You can actually just go in there. Don't try to talk to anybody to explain yourself because the dialogue doesn't cover it. Just go in there, walk right past them or walk right through them as the case may be, and yeah, use the range. You can use it. Now there is, let me see, hold on. Oh, no, it isn't. Okay, excuse me. Hold on. Okay. Oh, that's another point. Let me check to see. All right. Well, whatever. Okay. No, it doesn't come up on the map. All right. Never mind. But we are on our way. That is our next destination, by the way. Because that covers the containers, the water source, and the stoves. All very useful information just to prep for the Below Ice Mountain quest. All right, so I even covered the hammer thing. Okay, knife. All right. Yes, you'll need a knife in this quest. I'll cover that tidbit right before we get to it, but whatever. Let's see. Water source and containers. Pot only for drying. Glass ones. All right. Okay. Another thing you're going to need for Below Ice Mountain is cooked meat or raw beef. All right. This is as part of an ingredient for something you're going to have to prepare. The problem with the meat now is when I was trying to prepare for this quest yesterday, I went into Lumbridge to where the cow pens are. And yeah, the only thing you're going to get there is cowhide. For whatever reason, now you can't get meat that way. I don't know if they're changing the game or whatever it is, but yeah. I tried doing that. It didn't work. I actually had to go to the food store in Port Sarim and purchase the meat. It only cost 1 coin, but I mean, that's going really out of your way. There is a closer, spot to get the meat if you're preparing for this quest. Hold on, let's get there in timely fashion. Yeah, instead of going all the way to the food store over there in Port Sarim, which I covered in a previous stream, just go to the barbarian village. If you're not used to fighting, just be careful you don't walk into anybody. These characters will defend themselves and know how to. Okay, I don't know what your hit points are like. I'm okay because I've been working on my attack level and all that. Okay, so this is the barbarian village. Okay, just go. Okay, that's the bridge over here. You cross the bridge. You get to the center where people are mining. This is where I come to mine my coal. All right, it's the closest to Varrock. You turn. Let's see. Once you cross the bridge, you're gonna turn. Well, you're gonna go north, okay? But you're turning right if you're coming from that direction, which is north. All right. You see this building at the end right here? You want to go in there. Look at the tables. Okay? This is where you can get your meat. Okay. Right there. A lot easier than going all the way to the food store in Port Sarum. Okay, there's another. You got 2 pieces of meat over here. Here's the other one. Okay? Believe me, that's the closest supply you'll come across. If you, let's see, the exchange. Hold on, I did this earlier. Okay, hold on. I know I wrote this down somewhere. Okay, cooked meat at the exchange will cost you 73 coins. Raw beef will cost you 83. So you have to pay more for the raw beef, and then you've got to cook it, which you do by tapping the raw meat and then tapping a fire right there. No, because if I tap the raw meat now, if I tap the cooked meat and tap the fire, it'll burn it because it's already cooked. That's what happened with the stove when I was trying to. But at least if you tap a fire, it won't automatically assume you're trying to cook something and burn your meat, which is what happened at Blue Hill Inn, right? When I was trying to show you the stove. Yeah. Okay. Supposedly, it's harder to burn stuff using a stove, but as you can see, if the system assumes you're trying to cook something, yeah, you're going to end up burning it anyway. So, oh, and here's the beer. Yeah, you can get beer here. You will need beer for this quest, so go ahead and collect a beer as well. Oh, and look, they've already spawned the meat again. I'm going to go ahead and take it. And take that one too. Oh, hold on. Okay. Well, I can restock on my salmon easier than I can restock on the meat, so let me eat that. And then take that. Okay. Yeah. So that's your choice. You can come to the barbarian village and get the meat just on the tables, or go all the way to Port Sarum and go to the food store and pay 1 coin for a piece of raw meat. And then you got to cook that too. So here, this one's already cooked. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you, now that I already have all the stuff for this, what you have to do while you're running around trying to get bread and meat and a knife for the Below Ice Mountain quest. To do this, you have to have a loaf of bread in your inventory. Okay? If you don't have a loaf of bread in your inventory, it won't work. Let me get out of such a crowded place. Hold on. Because I'm going to end up bumping into somebody and having to get the heck out of there. Okay. So we're out in the open now. Okay. To do this, you have to have bread in your inventory. Let me drop the bread. Okay, so I dropped the bread. Now I'm going to try to do this without having bread in my inventory. I'm going to tap on the knife, and then I'm going to tap on one of the steaks, the cooked meat. Nothing happens. Okay? I'll do it again, tap the knife, and tap one of the meats. Yeah, nothing happens. Now let me go and pick up the bread, and I'll do that again. I'm going to tap the knife, and now I'm going to tap on one of the steaks. Okay, now the steak disappears. Now if you look underneath the bucket, you'll see a new item. Steak sandwich. You're going to have to be able to make that during the Below Ice Mountain quest. Alright, now that's real cute and everything. That's nice just to know all this other information. But as far as I can see, you're never going to have to use that skill again, because you can't even sell a steak sandwich on the Grand Exchange. Yeah, I tried to do that, nothing. You can't sell it. And the food store doesn't carry that. And even the hit points. Hold on, I wrote all this down. Okay, if you eat this thing, it only restores 6 hit points. Now, if you eat a loaf of bread, you're restoring 5 hit points. And if you eat cooked meat, you're restoring, I think it's 3 hit points. I could be wrong, but I think it's 3. So right there, just the ingredients will get you more, will restore more hit points than going through the trouble of creating a steak sandwich. Only 6 hit points are restored. So, yeah, and again, you can't sell it. So that's real cute that you know these little trivia bits of information. But as far as how useful that information is after the quest, yeah, I don't see, it doesn't really serve a purpose. The beer, same thing. Actually, I think beer is like, you can get 73 coins for beer on the exchange or something like that. Let me see if I wrote it down. Maybe not. I think I wrote it down yesterday. Did I put that down for the just for the container information? I don't know. When I went through the exchange thing? Alright, I don't know. Oh, another thing about the container information. If you're trying to get milk, yeah, milk will not be accepted in any container. If you try to milk a cow and you only have a bowl or a bucket or a jug, yeah, it won't work. And the milkmaid will actually laugh at you and said, "You've never milked a cow before, have you? Because you're spilling it all over the floor." Yeah. In order to get milk, you need a bucket. Okay, so water, you can put water in any liquid container, in a bucket, in a jug, or in a bowl. But when we're talking about milk, you need a bucket. All right, that was the other container thing, if I hadn't mentioned that. All right, what else? You got the stove, you got the containers. Water source. I even talked about the hammer. Okay, got a knife. Chef's hat. Again, that was like over 400 coins for a chef's hat. But by the time you reach those levels, 400 coins isn't too bad. And you're not only getting access to a stove, but you get your flour, because it's got the wheat. Well, it's got the hopper to grind up the wheat. So you don't have to go all the way to Lumbridge to grind your wheat. So yeah, 400 coins is kind of a small investment just to be able to do that. So far, that is the only quest I've come across where you have to have bread. But it seems a pretty basic food staple. So odds are you will come across another quest that may require it. And it's a part of a apparently integral part of old school RuneScape, because you are coming across mills a lot. Okay, I don't know. Am I still running this thing? Okay, I wasn't moving enough for this thing. All right. Let me see what else. Is there any other information from Varrock? Maybe not. I think that's it for the, I think that covers Varrock. Again, I'm going to go back to Lumbridge just in case you really want to find out where all the other containers are. If you don't want to go to the general store. Again, this is assuming you don't have access to the Grand Exchange at this point. But for those that really don't want to pay anything, the only other thing to mention all the other places that have the container that you go to get the containers. All right, so obviously we are back in Lumbridge Castle. Go in there. Okay, let me go ahead and pick up. Well, hold on. Let me see how full I am. Oh, wow. Huh. Okay, let me go into the bank and empty out my stuff. Okay. For anyone that hasn't seen any of the previous streams, yeah, this is kind of confusing, this Lumbridge Castle thing, because in RuneScape, you're not actually seeing climbing steps. You just tap and you're there. At this point in time, I'm on the top level, which is where the bank is. You just tap it, and now I'm on the second level. Now, when you're on the second or middle level and you tap, it'll give you the choice of whether you want to go up or down. And you hit down, and you're down. And there's another room. And again, this is the lower level. You tap it, and you automatically, it does not show you climbing. You automatically end up on the next level. Now you're on the next level. And just in case you need to know this, that's where the spinning wheel is. The smaller of the two rooms. Oh, hell. Excuse my French. That's the spinning wheel. Yeah. All right, now we're going to the top level. You just hit that. Okay, so here's where the bank is. Okay, I'm going to deposit my sandwich, which has no use as far as I can see beyond below Ice Mountain Quest. The beer, the meat, the rune I just collected. Let's see, all the containers. All the knives. The gloves I purchased. The bowl. Pot. We'll keep the coins because, yeah. I'll put that away. Okay. I'm finding it very handy to keep these items on hand, because I've got to fly fish to catch the salmon, and the salmon is my major food source because I'm still leveling up as far as my attack skills are concerned. Coins, I'm trying to show you stuff, and if I happen to remember something that I need money for, it's nice to have that on hand. The axe I like keeping on hand because I use the canoe system, the canoe station system. If you're not familiar with that, I'll get back to Varrock using that, just to show you if you haven't seen it before. Oh, yeah. That's the cowhide. That's the only thing you're going to get now. If you go to a cow pen and attack a cow to try to get meat, no. For whatever reason, yeah, you can't get the meat there. That's all you're going to get. What else? All right. Right now I'm just clearing out space. So, a continuation of containers, right? And this is the middle level. So again, it'll ask me if I want to go up or down. Okay, so here's the lower level of Lumbridge Castle. You go to the kitchen area. Now this guy, the chef, if you haven't done Cook's Assistant quest yet, he's going to give you all kinds of grief if you try to use the stove. See, now I can use the stove. I can tap on that thing. Yeah, I don't have any meat you haven't got anything to cook yet. Now I can use the stove. If I try to do that, when I tried to do that before I did the Cook's Assistant quest, the chef would have words with me, okay? He didn't appreciate that at all. Now that I've done the Cook's Assistant thing, I can hit the stove as many times as I want, and it's fine. Yeah, that's something to know. If you feel uncomfortable going into private dwellings, yeah, that's the advantage. Now, if I tap on the cook now, he's all kinds of chummy with me now. See, now we're on first name basis. Can I use your range? Oh, that's my character's being unusually polite. We'll go with that. Can I use your range? Go ahead. It's very good range. It's easier to use than most other ranges. Okay, so now we're at very first name basis, very chummy. All right. It's called Cookum. Oh, look at that. It's called Cookomatic 100. It uses a combination. Okay. Okay, so you can see completely different set of completely different dialogue now that I've done the quest. Now I can use the range. Usually I don't talk to the guy. I just go ahead and use the range. Okay, but he's very chummy now, and yeah, that's what the salesman told us anyway. Yeah. No, you can you saw how it burnt my steak, right? Then I didn't even mean to cook it. So yeah. All right. So now we're all kinds of chummy. Anyway, I didn't want to get too distracted here. Just this is the finishing touch on the thing. Look at all the containers we've got here. Look at the table. All right, we got the pot for the flour. We've got the bowl for the water. And hold on, there's also, we got a jug over here on the other table. Oh, hold on. Yeah, look at this other table. We got the jug here. And we go downstairs and we can get the rest of the stuff. The ladder, well, the ladder's where the cook is standing, but that's all right. Oh, hold on. No. Okay. You go down the steps, the ladder. Now, where are the boots? Here's where you get the boots. Somewhere. Hold on. Okay, right there in the corner. Right there. You get the boots there, and you get another pair that's next to the pitcher, or next to the broom. Go over here. That's a broom, and near the broom, you get another pair of boots. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot the knife. You see, the thing with the knife is it is so small that if you don't know it's there, you'll never see it. I think I actually wrote in the descriptions, there is no knife. Yeah, there is a knife. Right here at the side table. So that's where the kitchen knife is. And go back downstairs for the one here. There's another one. That's where the kitchen knife is. Okay, we got the two pairs of boots. And the other knife is the same table where the bucket is. Okay, so we got the two pairs of boots. And here's where the bucket is, right over here. And you see, on the other end of the table, there's the other knife. So there's the other knife. There's the bucket. And there's also another jug here next to the sink. Oh, the sink. Okay. Yeah, so there's your other water source. Let's get the jug. Okay. And let's get the cabbage just because we can. Okay. So again, sinks. Now you already saw how I filled it up. Well, you saw this in the Cook's Guild too. But anyway, you got the fountain in Varrock Square. And you got this sink over here in Lumbridge Castle. Again, you can tap this thing all day. Nothing. You tap one of the containers, the bowl, the jug, the bucket. Tap any of the containers and then tap the sink. Now look at the bucket. Now the bucket has water. Again, you can tap this all day. Nothing's going to happen. Let's tap the bowl again. Do the sink again. Look at the bowl. Now the bowl's got water. Do the same thing with the jug. Now both jugs, just in case I did that isn't clear yet, now both jugs have water. But look, it generated another, it spawned another jug, so I can get another empty jug too. So now I've got an empty jug. Okay, now try to do that with the pot. Yeah, it doesn't work. It lights up and everything, but look at the pot. The pot is still a pot. It's not a pot of water or anything. Again, the only use I found for a pot is to put flour in. That's it. But all the other things, the bowl, the bucket, the jugs, yeah. Even the vial, you can put water in it, but you can't use it from a vial. A vial will only transfer liquids. Okay, I think that's everything. Let me double check. I mean, I could go all the way back to Port Sarim to show you the food store, but I'm not going to because it's so ridiculously far and there's no reason to. Let's see. Again, the raw beef costs 83 coins. Yeah, you can go on, but again, it's not worth going all the way to Port Sarim for 83 coins. Really, I mean, you can do other things to get that amount of money without having to go that far. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm not doing that. You want to see how to get to the food store at Port Sarim? Look at one of my previous streams because that just doesn't make sense. Another thing I found, potatoes. As I'm doing all this stuff, as I'm collecting, you collect wheat and you see what you can do with it and all that kind of stuff. You come across potatoes. Yeah, there's no reason to pick potatoes. It only restores 1 hit point, and you can't even cook the darn thing unless you're a member. You need a stove, for one thing, to cook anything on it, and even then, you need to be a member, because it won't let you even cook the darn thing. You can't sell it. I mean, you could sell it for 62 coins at the Grand Exchange, but that's it. So if you're desperate for a way to make money, but again, you're traveling pretty far just for 62 coins. Because no store will pay you for it. You go to a food store with a potato, they'll take it, but again, they won't pay you for it. The only way you're going to get money for a potato is if you go to the Grand Exchange, and that means you're traveling quite a distance. So I'm not even going to bother going to a potato field because, again, that doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, look. It's already spawned more leather boots. I've got so many boots, I tell you. Then we got another pair of boots and the other pair of boots over here. So I got tons of boots now and tons of knives. All right. And again, don't bother selling the boots because it's not going to give you that great a price anyway. Actually, how much does it sell on the Grand Exchange? I don't know. Hold on, let me double check. See if I wrote that down anywhere. Boots. I don't know. Let me go on the Grand Exchange. And let's see if, let me enter that. Hold on. Put it down in my notations. Boots. You already saw that a store isn't going to pay you much of anything for it. So the last question would be, how much can you get for boots at the Grand Exchange? Okay. Oh, this is another example of the canoe stuff. Again, in order to use the canoe stations, you need to have at least a 12, level 12 in wood cutting. This is why I like carrying an axe with me, so I can use these canoe stations. It's going to be the big tree right next to a bank, and you're going to see a canoe station attendant will always be carrying. You see that canoe paddle this guy has? Yeah. If you really need information, go ahead and tap on this guy. All canoe station attendants are carrying around canoe paddles. Can you teach me about canoeing? Oh, yeah. One more Lumbridge thing I forgot. Let me get out of here. Hold on. You know what? Let me put this to the test. I've never put this to the test. Supposedly, if you don't actually use the canoe, it'll still be there for you. But I've never actually made a canoe and not used it. So, okay. Again, all you need is level 12 in wood cutting to be able to use these canoe stations. With a level 12, you can only use the log, and that's the only option. You see 4 canoes, but at this point, the 2 that I can actually use are the ones that are labeled. One says a log, and the other one says a dugout. As you increase in wood cutting levels and are given more options, it'll continue to label itself. But I only have 2 labels out of the 4, 2 choices out of the 4. Okay, I'm going to do the dugout, obviously. With a log, you can only go as far as 1 station, and then you've got to make another one. But it's the same thing. All right, it's no big deal. It's just an extra step. With a dugout, I can go 2 stations, which at this point is all as far as I've needed to go. So I've eliminated 1 step. The dugout requires 27, a level 27 in woodcutting. The next canoe, it's a ridiculously high level, and I'm not even worrying about it. This is good enough. Okay, supposedly I can just leave it like this. Here, let me throw it in the water. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that, just to put it to the test. Oh, heck. All right. Okay, I'm not worrying if I accidentally attack a goblin at this point, because from what I can see, they can hit me all day long and it doesn't do any damage to me anymore. Okay, so, all right, we've got a hammer from the master smithing tutor. Now this guy's an apprentice. The one at the furnace here in Lumbridge, with the anvil that you can only use to make bronze items. So this is obviously like a cradle town for people that are just starting out. I'm going to go ahead and talk to this guy. Okay, am I carrying a hammer? No. All right, let's see if this guy gives me a free hammer. Okay. Okay, what do I do after smelting the ore? You'll need to learn to smith. You can use bronze bars on the anvil outside with a hammer. For the best advice, go to Varrock. Okay, we already went to the Varrock and we talked to that guy. That's where my master, the smithing tutor, plies his trade. Ask him to teach you how to smith. Look for this icon in the west of Varrock. Okay, you can't see the icon because the Twitch emblem and the live one viewer is there. So it's a picture, it's a small picture of an anvil, all right? Smelt some ore and store it in the bank. Grab a hammer from the general store before you go to. Okay, this guy's not going to give me a hammer then. Okay, let me check my... No, he didn't give me a hammer. Okay. Let me take his advice just to finish off the process. Okay, the general store is right across from the furnace, the anvil, whatever. And let me talk to this guy. Okay, I've got a gazillion hammers by now, and I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, what I got? I got 33 coins. Okay, 32. So a hammer is going to cost you 1 coin. So, like I'm saying, as far as buying stuff or going out of your way, it's not worth going out of your way. The stuff you really, really need is so cheap that it's really not worth going out of your way for anything. But I mean, if it really offends you to spend any money, even virtual money, on anything, you can always be brutal about it. And well, let's see if we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I already have a chef's hat. But let's get someone with a chef's hat. This is how I got my first chef's hat. If you don't want to, now that's a substantial amount. Okay, this guy has a chef's hat. Here we go. Okay. See this? You'll see some of the goblins have chef's hat. So if you don't want to spend the $400 or 400 coins, that I understand. At least that's a handful of change, you know? I can appreciate that one. And if you don't want to get too involved, you don't even have to hit more than once, really. This thing will... Okay, was that not a chef's hat? Because I only see 1 chef's hat. Okay, let me... So what, now I can't get a chef's hat like that? Or maybe at my level, I'm starting to find things are not so easy to obtain once... Okay, where the hell am I going? Okay, let me drop the chef's hat I have. Maybe I'm so confused now, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to drop the chef's hat and try that again. Huh. You know what, boys and girls? I think I got to go back and collect my chef's hat because I don't think this thing is going to let me do this now. Okay. So maybe you only get certain drops if you're a low enough level. Okay, let me get rid of this guy. Hold on. All right. Okay, so we learned that once you reach a certain level, you can't get a chef's hat like that. Because all the chefs, I haven't purchased one chef's hat. All those chef's hats I got because there were goblin drops. Dropped by goblins, all right? So the apprentice smithing tutor will not give you a hammer. You've got to go to the master smithing tutor in Varrock. You'll get your free hammer. Once you reach a certain level, it looks like you're not going to get any chef's hats unless you pay for it. And that's like over 400 coins. So, hey, I'm learning new stuff too. Yeah, because like I said, I haven't, oh, wait a minute. Let me collect some feathers now that I'm here. Yeah, with fly fishing, you need feathers. Oh, hold on. Someone else is collecting that too. Well, you should be more quick about it. Okay. Well, who told you not to collect as you go? Okay. So I've managed to get, whoa, over 900 feathers. That's pretty cool. All right. So if you've got to go to the chicken coop to get your feathers, don't be so sloppy and just leave it there so long. All right. I mean, if that's what you're there for. I've done that too, you know. But I've been a lot more, I just didn't leave it there like that. See, I couldn't be sure that that's what they were doing anyway. A lot of people are just practice their attack, try to level up on attacks by getting chickens. So, yeah, but that person obviously wanted the feathers. All right, what are we doing here? Okay, so you know you have to pay, once you reach a certain level, apparently you have to pay the 400 coins, whatever, to get your chef's hat. So hopefully you didn't get rid of all your chef's hats when you first started out. You at least saved one or two. Yeah, the apprentice guy won't give you a free hammer. You got to go to the master tutor for that. And let me see if this canoe is still there. Yeah, the canoe is still there. That is the canoe, right? Yeah, it is. Cool. So yeah, it won't take off until you actually use it. Or log out, or whatever it is, however it works it. So I started from there. I've got 2 things I can choose from. We're doing the barbarian village. Okay, so what did I want to find out? I want to find out about the boots, right? I think I have everything else answered. So Varrock, you can get a free hammer. You don't need to clobber a goblin for that. After you've reached a certain level, you can't even... There's no point in getting the goblins now. So if you need a beer, you can go to the barbarian village. If you need a hammer, the master smithing tutor will give you one. And yeah, goblins don't drop chef's hat after you've reached that kind of level. We are going for what now? Information. I'm going to try to sell these boots. Okay. And that should be it. That was a heck of a lot of information. Like I said, I'm not intending to overwhelm anybody. It's just that yeah, once you've completed enough, if nothing else, than to get it straight in your own mind, all the things you've come across, that'll be very useful to you overall. Let me find out about this leather boots stuff. Okay. Looking into leather boots. Okay, I've got the 97 coins for my cooking apple and the 202 coins for my bread dough. Huh. And the bread is not selling. So, like me, people are willing to go for the convenience, but not to the extent of paying more than 100 extra coins just to get to a stove. So that makes sense, actually. Oh, I dare say if I leave it there for another day, the bread will sell. But I mean, if all you need, hold on. If all you need is access to a stove, why are you going to pay an extra 100 coins for the privilege? You know, it doesn't, yeah. But I'll leave the bread there. It'll probably take another day for it to sell, but whatever. Let me collect that. All right, boots we're talking about, right? Boots, only 64 coins. So that's the same price I can get for bones. Oh, 62, whatever. So that's almost the same. Let me go ahead and do all. 2 and confirm that. 60. Well, yeah, I already have too many boots, don't I? Just did that for the purposes of this tutorial, you might say. All right, we'll get all of those, which is 4. Confirm that. Oh, hey. Well, it's even quicker than the bones. That's pretty good. Yeah, but that was 40. Oh man, I didn't even write it down. How much did I get for that? 40 something or other? I mean, that was the whole thing of get. Oh my goodness. All right, 46. Okay, well, let's the boots, right? Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, 64. What am I saying? 64. All right. Oh, and there are the bones. Yeah, like I said, it's almost the same price as bones. Okay. So boots cost you 64 coins. You can sell them for 64 coins. So that's pretty good. Um, potatoes. Yeah. Again, you can sell them because they're not worth anything else. What was that? 63? And bread sells for 313, but odds are you're going to have to wait for that one. But the dough, yeah, you get 202 for that. So that may be worth something. You don't have to go all the way to Lumbridge for that. Okay, let me earmark that. All right, the dough, quick money. You get 200 for that. The bread, you have to wait, but that's an extra 100 coins if you wanted to do the bread thing. Chocolate dust, 43. The cooking apple is better at 97. So just for that, I mean, just to have easy access to a stove and to be able to sell the cooking apple and whatever. So that cooking guild's pretty good. But you can still go to Juliet's house if you don't want to pay 400 coins for a chef's hat. But just don't throw them away. You know, you got them for free when you were first started out. Don't throw them away. And yeah, you have access to a bunch of stuff if you use the cooking guild. All right, I think that just about does it. Let me quickly go over my notes. Like I said, it was just way too much information. I'm sure I missed tons of stuff. But yeah, just prepping for this. I got to remember that Yule logs thing that I learned from one of those characters surrounding the exchange. Yeah, again, 277 coins. And the regular logs are 49. So let me grab my axe and... Alright, I'll get to it, and I hope you found this somewhat informative without being too overwhelming. These are just all the tidbits you come across when you are preparing for a quest. Okay, thanks for watching, and since I'm talking I can say that. Thanks for watching and take care.